I was at the impressionable age of 14 when I heard John F. Kennedy urge us not to ask what America can do for us, but what we can do for America. 7 years later, I took a job as a summer intern in the Senate office of his brother, Robert F. Kennedy. It wasn't a glamorous job, to say the least. I felt lucky when I was asked to run his signature machine. But I told myself that in a very tiny way, I was doing something for the good of the country. That was a half-century ago. I wish I could say America is a better place now than it was then. Surely our lives are more convenient. 50 years ago, there were no cash machines or smartphones, and I wrote my first book on a typewriter. As individuals, we're as kind and generous as ever. We volunteer in our communities, donate, and help one another. We pitch in during natural disasters and emergencies. We come to the aid of individuals in need. We're a more inclusive society in that African Americans, women, and gays have legal rights they didn't have a half-century ago. Yet our civic life, as citizens in our democracy, participants in our economy, managers or employees of companies, and members or leaders of organizations, seems to have sharply deteriorated. What we've lost, I think, is a sense of our connectedness to each other and to our ideals, the America that John F. Kennedy asked that we contribute to. Starting in the late 1970s, Americans began talking less about the common good and more about self-aggrandizement. The shift is the hallmark of our era, from the greatest generation to the me generation, from we're all in it together to you're on your own. In 1977, motivational speaker Robert Ringer wrote a book that reached the top of the New York Times bestseller list entitled Looking Out for Number One. It extolled the virtues of selfishness to a wide and enthusiastic audience. The 1987 film Wall Street epitomized the new ethos in the character Gordon Gekko and his signature line, "Greed, for lack of a better word, is good." The past 5 decades have also been marked by growing cynicism and distrust toward all of the basic institutions of American society: government, the media, corporations, big banks, police, universities, charities, religious institutions, the professions. There's a wide and pervasive sense that the system as a whole is no longer working as it should. A growing number of Americans feel neglected and powerless. Some are poor or black or Latino. Others are white and have been on a downward economic escalator for years. Many in the middle also feel stressed and voiceless. Whether we call ourselves Democrats or Republicans, liberals or conservatives, we share many of the same anxieties and feel much of the same distrust. We've nonetheless been cleaved into warring ideological tribes, and tribes within those tribes. Some of us have even been seduced by demagogues and conspiracy theorists. We seem to be a long way from when John F. Kennedy asked that Americans contribute to the well-being of all. We no longer even discuss what we owe one another as members of the same society. As I say this, I'm now a septuagenarian, and Donald Trump is president. In many ways, Trump epitomizes what has gone wrong, but as I hope to make clear, Trump is not the cause. He's a consequence, the logical outcome of what has unfolded over many years. His election was itself propelled by widespread anxieties and distrust toward our political and economic system. Say what you want about him, Trump has at least brought us back to first principles. Some presidents, like Ronald Reagan, got us talking about the size and role of government. Trump has got us talking about democracy versus tyranny. Some presidents, like Bill Clinton, invited a discussion of how we can make the most of ourselves. Trump, by dint of his pugnacious character and the divisiveness he's fueled, raises the question of what connects us, of what we hold in common. Hence, this book.